Now we will learn about animal tissues. We all know that animals and plants both are made up of cells. So a group of cell is known as tissue. The same way different types, just like plants, the animals are also made up of different types of tissue. Let us first see how many types of tissues are present in the animals. First of all, the animal tissues are divided into four main types. First is epithelial, second is muscular, third is connective, and fourth is nervous. They are also subdivided. Every kind of tissue is further divided and they have following types. Epithelial tissue is of five types. They are squamous, cuboidal, columnar, glandular and ciliated. Same way muscular tissues are there and they are divided into three parts. Striated, smooth and cardiac. The third one is connective animal tissues. Connective animal tissues are of four types. They are areolar tissues, adipose tissues, skeletal tissues and fluid tissues. Areolar tissues are generally of two types, tendons and ligaments. Skeletal tissues are also of two types, cartilage and bones. And fluid connective tissues are also of two types, blood and lymph. Now, and the fourth one is nervous tissues, and these tissues are not further divided. Now student, we will see them one by one and we will learn about their occurrence, their nature and what is the function of these tissues. We will learn in this chapter. Now let us first start with the epithelial tissues. First, let us see some characteristics of epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissues are the simplest and the protective tissues. These type of tissue are very simple and they act as a protective tissue. That is, they protect the underlying organ around which they are present. Second, they are barrier to keep different systems separate. They are the barriers. Barriers की तरह होते हैं and they keep the two systems separate by their lining. Third one is they are generally present in buccal cavity, the mouth part. Blood vessels lining. Blood vessels are arteries and veins through which our blood flows. Alveoli are present in our lungs and the kidney tubules. They generally form the lining of these parts. That next thing, what is the structure? According to their structure, they lie on the delicate non-cellular membrane. These epithelial tissues has a membrane around above which they are present, and this membrane has no cell. I have written they have delicate and non-cellular. It is very sensitive layer and it is non-cellular layer and it is known as the basement membrane. And above which they have the cells present, and in these cells they have a matrix which is a very protein, which has a large amount of protein, and this protein matrix is known as collagen. Understood? The membrane above which these epithelial tissues are present is known as basement membrane. And the tissues inside which a large matrix protein is present, that is known as collagen. Now, on the basis of shape and their functions, they are divided into five types. So, on the basis of shape, their shape are different and their functions are different. So, on the basis of their shape and function, these epithelial tissues are of five types. Now, let us see the different types of epithelial tissues. See the different types of epithelial tissue. I have already told you that epithelial tissues are of five types: squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated and glandular. Now let us see each of them individually. First one is squamous epithelium. This is the diagram of squamous epithelium. These are very thin, flat and irregular. They have no proper shape. Such type of tissues are known as squamous epithelial tissues and they occur mainly in the lining. It makes the lining of esophagus, food pipe, mouth, nose, blood vessels, tongue and skin. They are present generally in the lining of these organs, and the main function of these tissues is they protect from mechanical injury, entry of germs and chemicals. As this is the outermost layer, so it protects us from any injury or the entry of germs or any other chemical that attacks on the skin. So now let's see the next type of epithelial tissue, that is the cuboidal. Students, from the name cuboidal we can get the idea that these are of cuboid shape. That is, they are the cube-like shape, and when we see them from the upper surface, they are like hexagonal in shape. Hexagonal, those have 6 sides. Now they are present generally on the various glands. Glands like sweat glands, salivary glands, these glands are present in our skin, so they are generally present there, and also in the kidney tubules. And the main function of these type of epithelial tissue is to absorb, to secrete something, to excrete something, and also they gives our body a mechanical support. Next, the third type of epithelial tissue is the columnar. Columnar, from the name we can say that they are column-like. They are taller in comparison to broader. They are much taller as compared to how much broad they are. And sometimes they have a brush type border. Brush type border, sometimes a thread-like structures, microvilli are small thread-like structures are present there, which are known as microvilli. So they have a brush-like border. They are generally present in the lining of stomach, intestine, and also they form the mucous membrane. A small wetty surface they make, that is known as the mucous membrane, and the lining of the stomach and intestine. And the function of such type of tissues is absorption and secretion. They absorb something. These columnar brush border helps them, these microvilli helps them to absorb more and more substance. Whatever you eat, that goes in the stomach and intestine. So this stomach and intestine, these villi are present that helps them to absorb the food items, and they also secrete some products. Next is the ciliated epithelial tissues. Ciliated epithelial tissues are the type of this columnar and cuboidal only, but they have some thread-like structures that are known as cilia. These thread-like structures you are seeing here, they are known as cilia. That is why this type of tissue is known as ciliated tissue. They have the thread-like outgrowth that are known as cilia. They are generally present in a windpipe, the pipe from which we take air, oxygen inside. Lungs, fallopian tube, the tube that connects our uterus to the ovary, and the kidney tubules. These type of tissues are present in these organs, and the main function is, just because of the cilia, the movement of solid particles in the one direction. The direction in which these cilia moves, the solid particles that passes through them also moves in the same direction. So this is the function of ciliated epithelial tissue. The last but not the least is the glandular. Glandular, we can say the glands. The columnar or the cuboidal tissue that have glands in them. Glands, sweat glands, salivary glands, that helps in the secretion of some chemicals. Such type of tissues are known as glandular tissues. So children, these are the different types of epithelial tissues. Now we will see the next type of tissues.